It is time now for the Fox 13 11 o'clock news.
You're watching Fox 13, and the 11 o'clock news starts now.
Oh, it's disheartening as well as disgusting. Those are the two immediate emotions that I feel.
Investigators say a guitar teacher used his sessions to sexually abuse a student, and they think there are more victims.
That was one of the needs is, we need to find an alternative water supply. And that's why we looked at reusing the water that we already had.
And Tampa is considering a controversial plan to recycle wastewater. Tonight, we spotlight a town that's already turning its dirty water into something drinkable.
They had about 16 chemo treatments and about 35 radiation treatments.
The aftermath of 9/11 still haunting first responders to this day. Good evening, and thanks for staying up with us at 11. I'm Cynthia Smoot.
And I'm Chris Cato, and first up here at 11, a music teacher is in jail tonight, accused of molesting a 15-year-old student multiple times. Deputies say the 34-year-old man inappropriately touched the student during private lessons at a Tampa business. Let's get more on this now. Fox 13's Janae Lewis live for us in Tampa. And Janae, investigators say this happened more than once.
Chris, investigators say this happened multiple times over the period of several months. Advocates say there are a number of reasons that a victim doesn't immediately come forward, but whenever they are ready to tell their story, they should be supported.
Janae Lewis live for us tonight in Tampa. Thanks, Janae.
The fight over border security is expanding far beyond the border. The 48 Venezuelan migrants flown to Martha's Vineyard Wednesday night are being moved to a military base on Cape Cod. Democrats are criticizing DeSantis and Texas Governor Greg Abbott for the move, saying the migrants shouldn't be used as political pawns, while Republicans argue it's the administration that's acting shamefully, claiming the White House is refusing to acknowledge the problem or visit the border.
3 men who held prominent positions in their communities are facing charges tonight after being arrested in a sex sting. Hillsborough County detectives say these men wanted to pay for sex with children, minors.
St. Pete City Council will be looking for a new council member. Lisa Wheeler-Bowman sent in her resignation letter yesterday after accusations that she doesn't live in the district she represents, and that's a violation of the city charter. In her letter, she said she recently bought a home and was not aware of a residence requirement within her mortgage, so that she had to move her residence to that new location. She says even though she bought the house in July, it was her intention to live in her district until the end of her term.
West Texas has something the city of Tampa wants: a system to reuse water. The first area in the United States to clean wastewater and put it back into the supply line has some advice for the city of Tampa as it embarks on a controversial water project that has drawn the ire of some city council members. Fox 13's Evan Axelbank spoke to officials there in that West Texas town and joins us now in our newsroom. Evan?
Well, Chris, this is deja vu for those officials because they remember hearing the same concerns from residents there when they started their project. The concern here in Tampa is, will the water be clean? In Texas, they say time has shown it absolutely is. Yesterday at Tampa City Hall, as you see there, public speakers said no to even just studying the idea of treating and reusing sewage as part of the city's, quote, pure project. The city is examining 5 options, including sending the reused water into the Hillsborough River, down into the aquifer, or even making it drinkable. Speaking to the future of how important water is going to be as our climate changes, officials in West Texas tell a joke. They say that whiskey is for drinking while water is for fighting over. It's a joke, but it's a serious point, Chris.
Yeah, there is fighting going on over what to do as Tampa faces that 10-year deadline. But Evan, to be clear here, so this town, Big Spring, Texas, they are treating this water and it's going back into their drinking water system. People are drinking treated wastewater in essence.
Absolutely. It goes straight from the plant that they have into the system that then supplies the other municipal systems that are in the area. So absolutely, it goes from the sewage system right into folks' faucets who are drinking it.
And no complaint, no problems there, at least none that we've heard of. Okay.
Yeah.
We will see how Tampa moves forward with this. Thank you, Evan.
So it was this week that marked 21 years since the 9/11 attacks that killed 3,000 people that day. Thousands of survivors and first responders have never fully recovered. As Fox 13's Catherine Hawley reports, the toxic dust at Ground Zero caused physical and mental health issues that continue to claim lives. Well, it's Friday night, so we're going to wrap up the week on an amusing note.
Yeah, with an Only in Florida that features some pretty strange sightings by you guys, including a big red dog water skiing.
Wow.
A diapered kangaroo hopping down the hallway of a local school, and a man being stalked by the star of Thanksgiving dinner. We're fired up like Dolphins fans for a new Only in Florida coming up.
And a lot of guests at Disney World thought that was a funnel cloud. Kind of looks like it, doesn't it? So what is it? I bet Tyler knows.
Maybe. Of course I do. We'll talk about that coming up. Storms have been around this evening. Busy evening for sure. It's starting to quiet down now. We've been in a very active pattern, especially late in the day. Next couple of days still going to be like that, but some dropping rain chances next week. We'll talk about it coming up.
Welcome back. Tropical Storm Fiona is moving through the Caribbean tonight. The system is expected to hit Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic, bringing heavy rain and the threat of flooding. Now, the storm is giving some Puerto Ricans flashbacks to Hurricane Maria in 2017, which really devastated the island. Fox's Stephanie Buffamonte shows us how the U.S. territory is preparing. And keep in mind, if you had booked a flight to the area, many major airlines have already issued flight waivers to destinations in Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands.
Well, heavy rains from some storms earlier this evening created this mess in St. Pete. And some cars are getting through, but several stalled out like these. This is 62nd Avenue North and 10th Street North. The fire department, in fact, shut down some of those roads after cars got stuck. And then check this out. It's an eerie cloud formation near Disney. That low-hanging cloud sure looks like maybe a funnel cloud, doesn't it? Parkgoers, some of them were thinking, hey, there's a tornado headed our way. But Tyler, you're going to tell us that is not the case. What is that thing called?
It's a scud cloud, Cynthia. We meteorologists love acronyms. Scud is a scattered cumulus deck. How about that? I prefer SLC, a scary-looking cloud.
Scary-looking cloud.
SLC, I like that.
Yeah, that's good.
The telltale sign there, great when we have video instead of just a picture, is it's not rotating. It's simply just kind of a lowering of a cloud deck, a lot of moisture, some instability in the air, and you get that sometimes. But interesting sight, I'm sure. It was ominous as you're at the park there for sure, especially if you don't know what's going on. But yeah, just some heavy rain, a lot of lightning with storms, and some gusty winds earlier this evening as well. Just about everybody got some rain around Tampa Bay, and some folks really got a lot of rain. You saw the video there in St. Pete. Those problem areas definitely having problems this evening with that heavy rain. Now is starting to quiet down. It's 74 in Tampa. All the heavy rain is offshore. We're just kind of in some light to moderate, kind of steady rainfall over the next hour or two, but it's certainly not nearly as heavy as it was earlier. I'll show you a sky tower in a sec. Here's rainfall totals the last 12 hours, 4.5 inches near Avon Park in about an hour time frame earlier this evening, like 4:30 to 5:30. I had a video of flooding in many roads in that space. I mean, anywhere is going to flood when you have 4 inches of rain in about an hour or so. 3 inches of rain or thereabout, 3 to 4 across central and southern Pinellas County. That was part of that cluster of storms that moved over the bay and out over Pinellas, and as I said, now is out in the Gulf of Mexico. Some spots got nothing today, but they were few and far between. Just about everybody got something. A little bit of this light rain will linger here for another hour or two. Eventually, we'll clear it out overnight. Tomorrow's going to start off quiet, just like the last couple of days, but also like the last couple of days. I think mid to late afternoon, we'll start to see some storms building further inland, and all those will drift towards the coastline tomorrow evening again. Here's Tropical Storm Fiona trying to get a little better organized, but I think the land interaction and the continued westerly wind shear is going to keep this in check. Winds at 60 as of the 11 o'clock advisory. It's not a strong system. The winds aren't the problem. It's the heavy rainfall for parts of the islands and Puerto Rico and Dominican Republic. Up to a foot of rain. You're talking mudslide problems through the weekend. Yeah, rainfall is always a problem with slow-moving tropical systems like this, and they're going to have it, especially in some of the mountainous terrain. It will move north of those islands on Monday, and at that point, probably going to be in a weaker state due to that land interaction, but strengthening is likely to occur near or just east of the Bahamas, and the National Hurricane Center has Fiona becoming a hurricane early next week. The good thing at this point is that models are in much better agreement that this is going to stay well east of Florida, well east of the U.S. East Coast, and eventually just get turned out to sea. So it's a problem for the Caribbean, but I really don't think it's going to be a problem for us. Can't write it off completely just yet. Here's the Fox model, again, strengthening it north of the islands next week. We'll watch the next few days, but really no cause for concern. 70 skies, late showers will be winding down over the next hour or two. We'll go 88 tomorrow. Rain chance still high with scattered showers and storms developing. And then same story Sunday, but maybe a little less rainfall coverage. Just a slow, gradual drop in our rain chances over the next, say, 5-6 days. So we go from 70% tomorrow to 20% next Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Hey, Kev.
Hey, Tyler, the Rays are in their stretch run for the postseason. Less than 3 weeks remain for the regular season. So each one of these final games really is magnified. See how they did in the return to the Trop as they take on the Texas Rangers tonight. And the Bucs receivers have been recovering from the season opener against Dallas. All but one will be ready to go on Sunday. You got to find out who's out and which one to watch for against the Saints. Coming up next. Well, not a great start for Rays pitcher Corey Kluber. Kluber was rocked, for 6 runs in his last start against the New York Yankees. Better performance against the Rangers tonight, but he has yet another shaky inning at the Trop. Well, the Bucs look in better shape going to New Orleans than they did just a few days ago. Although Chris Godwin won't play and Donovan Smith is considered doubtful with that hyperextension of his elbow. Todd Bowles has given the green light, though, to the rest of the team. And what a great game in Louisville. Yeah. It is a final. FSU hangs on 35-31. They're 3-0 for the first time since 2015.
Incredible what this backup quarterback did after Jordan Travis goes out. He comes out in the second half and looks pretty good. And yeah, when he first went in there, it's like, oh boy, here we go. It didn't look good for him, but he really started rolling, especially in the fourth quarter. Made some plays. Yeah. All right, thanks, Kevin.
Okay.
So still ahead, the head of FedEx believes a global recession is coming. That's because of a drop in shipment volumes. So how would that impact the holiday shopping season? We'll take a look. Plus.
It's actually a very wide space, all right, but it's very narrow. I mean, you're talking 12, 15 inches tops.
And in that small space, a boy trapped in a cave. The daring rescue next. There's another development tonight in the Mar-a-Lago documents saga. The Justice Department tonight asked an appeals court to lift a judge's order that prevents prosecutors from reviewing those classified documents that were taken from the home of former President Trump. A federal judge, remember, sided with the president's team and appointed a retired federal judge, an independent arbiter, to sift through those documents and determine if anything should be withheld from the investigation. Now, the judge appointed here, Raymond Deary, he's the special master who's going to review the documents. He's a semi-retired judge from the Federal District Court for the Eastern District of New York. The former president's legal team and the Justice Department both supported his appointment.
Essentially what she's doing is she wants a trusted judge, retired judge here, who's very familiar with classified information, to help her figure out what documents should have been in Mar-a-Lago and which documents couldn't be.
So Deary has until November 30th to finish reviewing all those documents that were removed from Mar-a-Lago. Until that time, prosecutors for the DOJ are barred from using the documents in any criminal investigation.
Well, it is the middle of the night now in London, and mourners, thousands of them, are still in line, waiting for hours to pay their respects to the late Queen Elizabeth. The crowds are just huge. They just go, look at this, and the queue, and it's so orderly. All of this just to file by the Queen's coffin in Westminster Hall, and it will stay there until her funeral on Monday. Despite the cold overnight temperatures and that line spanning several miles, last I heard it was at least 5 miles. Also, among them, soccer legend David Beckham. He's one of the mourners. He met the Queen several times over her 70-year reign. He says the experience was one that was meant to be shared.
It's nice to be here to celebrate with everybody. Her Majesty was someone special, and will be missed not just by everyone in our country, but everyone around the world.
And the British government has announced that Monday will be a national holiday so that people can continue to pay their respects. And of course, be there in the street for the funeral if they like, or be able to watch the funeral. So it's a national day off, a holiday for everyone in the UK.
It's going to be a big day on Monday.
Big day.
Meantime, in Ukraine, another gruesome but perhaps not surprising discovery. Mass graves uncovered in territory that was occupied by Russian forces. Investigators who searched this area say that there are signs that some of those who died were tortured. Investigators say remains were found with broken limbs and ropes around their necks. Fox's Jeff Paul has the latest. Wow.
You know,
tense moments there.
Talk about rock in a hard place. That kid was in between the rocks in a hard place.
He's got a story to tell now.
He does.
We've got one too. Coming up, gators weren't the only ones showing out this week. Oh no, we've got a stalking turkey, an otter getting twerky, and it's bring your kangaroo to worky. What is going on here? A new Only in Florida is hopping your way after this.
Ladies and gentlemen, this break in our motion picture is made out of respect for the TV fans in our audience. We want all you TV fans to feel at home.
Find movies on Broadcast Channel 13.2 and its cable providers.
Fox 13 Sky Tower Weather is sponsored by Farah & Farah, Tampa's accident attorneys.
We specialize in accidents involving commercial trucks. Call for a free consultation.
Well, often in sports, tragedy strikes, leaving athletes unable to play the game they love. Well, one group in Sarasota is proving that anyone and everyone can play the sport they love, no matter the circumstances. Our Sean Barry has more. And this golfing club, the longest running adaptive golf group in the U.S. They've been going at this thing for 25 years, and I'm sure helping a lot of people get out there and just kind of forgetting their troubles.
It is therapeutic no matter what you've been through. It's
absolutely
helpful for all of us, and glad to see those guys succeeding. Thanks, Kevin.
Okay.
All right, Only in Florida time. You stayed up this late, might as well stay up a little later and watch this. Only in Florida can you see a predator of the ocean getting some exercise on land. Yeah, check out what viewer Sandra Smith saw as she drove through Bradenton the other day. Baby shark or bikey shark? By the way, Sandra put the music on the video, so don't blame me for getting baby shark stuck in your head again. Just never know what you're going to see out there, do you, folks? Makes perfect sense to me. You know, put on your shark costume and go on a bike ride in 90-degree weather. You guys have been filling up my inbox lately with some great videos, so we're going to start off with a few of those in this new edition of Only in Florida. Only in Florida.
Come on. Keep coming.
Does your morning walk
Come on.
turn into a turkey trot? Craig Merrill sent me this video of the gobbler that joined him as he exercised in his Winter Haven neighborhood.
Come on. You coming?
He says the bird kept up with him for quite a while. It's either desperate for a mate or it's asking Craig how many days until Thanksgiving. Get out of town while you can, buddy. You guys have sent me some great videos lately, like this twerking otter from Lacey Porter in St. Pete. Now, the otter probably doesn't know it's twerking, but we appreciate the show all the same. You expect to see otters on the water, but a big red dog water skiing? And not just that, but check it. Barefoot water skiing. Or bare paw, I guess. Steve Tillich, who was driving the boat, sent me the video. That's his buddy Rick in the Clifford suit. I didn't even ask why. I just said, thank you. Keep them coming. Now, I found this gem on Polk County Schools' Facebook page. A baby kangaroo hopping down the hallway of a middle school in a diaper. You know that nightmare where you're at school and you suddenly realize you're wearing nothing but your underwear? Well, this guy is living that. And I guess those would be underoos he's wearing, right? The Facebook post didn't give us much backstory. It just said one of the school administrators was babysitting the Joey. Now, how do I get that job? Let's check on our pro football teams, shall we? While the Bucs were in Dallas last Sunday, sending the Cowboys' season up in flames, the Flames were quite literal outside the home of the Miami Dolphins. Some silly tailgater had stashed a still-hot charcoal grill beneath the vehicle before heading into the stadium, and soon 11 cars were flame-broiled. Now, if that's not a script for one of those Mayhem Allstate insurance commercials, I don't know what is. Speaking of tailgaters, this photo prompted a lot of reaction on social media. An apparently dead alligator strapped to the back of an SUV on I-95. Some people were upset, wondering if this is even legal. But remember, it is gator hunting season in Florida, and not everyone has a pickup truck. The woman who took the photo wonders if there's a less visible way to transport it.
I guess they probably could have put it on the roof and tied it down that way too.
I don't see a luggage rack on the roof, although new luggage might be part of this equation. From a gator on the road to one in the road.
Just a giant alligator walking in front of my car.
Abby Dauenheimer had to yield to a prehistoric pedestrian, much to the shock of her young passenger.
Can I see the picture? Oh my God!
Kids, you can learn about reptiles in a science book, but you can see that book come to life.
Only in Florida.
Hey, that's my line. And I get to say it only in Florida. Couldn't have done that without our viewers sending me some videos there.
There's some good ones on there.
Keep them coming. You guys know where to find me on Facebook, and what's the other one? Twitter. I'm on that one too, barely. I do want to know the backstory on the kangaroo. Please, if you're out there.
The kangaroo.
And you're
I want to know that too.
Bartow Middle School, I believe. If you guys know who brought and why there was a baby kangaroo, we'd just like just a few details.
Curious. Call us curious. Yeah. Well, apparently even villains need a little vacay.
Uh-oh.
Michael Myers. He's out there showing up on Florida beaches, and we're going to hear from the man behind the mask when we come back.
For all the money we got. All the money you got, Jay.
You bet your life.
All right, there you go.
Tonight at midnight on Fox 13.
So we are ticking down the days now to Halloween, and beachgoers are already getting a little bit of a scare from Michael Myers. Fox's Stephanie Buffamonte went to find out why he is skulking around in the sand. That's not what I was thinking, is that it makes people smile.
You heard him. Kids are coming up and hugging Michael Myers.
They don't know any better.
He's like a celebrity.
I don't think they even know who Michael Myers is.
Children, do not hug a man holding a knife. It's just not a good idea. Anyone dressed like that on the beach, clear sign, stay away.
I think we need to get Jamie Lee Curtis involved. You know, see what she has to say about this.
Solve that in a heartbeat.
Exactly.
Okay, this is real life scary here, though. What a catch.
Whoa, hello.
Oh, wait, there's more.
Wait.
There it is. It's in the boat. So we'll tell you what happened after the shark landed in the boat. All right, leave you with this. Caught on camera, some guest on a shark fishing expedition off the coast of Maine. Well, they got what they were asking for. A 7-foot mako, twisting aerobatically, and it was trying to actually get off the line when, it leapt into the boat, nearly landing on one of the fisher, one of the guests there. Thankfully, no one hurt. The shark might have been a little hurt, but it was tagged and released back into the water. Sea Ventures Charters writes on Facebook that this was a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
You know, there's just this part of me that goes, from the shark's perspective. So you want to catch a shark? Hey,
here
I am. So, but I hope nobody got hurt. I hope everybody survived that little thing there.
Sounds like they did. Yep.
All right. Hey, the news, it keeps going online and on your app.
Good Day starts at 6 a.m. on your Saturday. And from all of us here at Fox 13, have a great night.